Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about pipe filters, since it is one of these things that I came to think about when I was making my last video that was called The Skill of Pipe Smoking. That a pipe filter is one of these variables that will change your experience of smoking a pipe. It is also a subject that will divide, I guess, most pipe smokers, because either you use or you don't use a pipe filter. Personally, I didn't even know when I picked up my pipe the first time that there was such a thing as a pipe filter. I associated filters with cigarettes, that is there to filter some bad particles out of the smoke, to try to make the smoke less harmful to you, I guess. But in a pipe, the filter could also be filtering the smoke, but it is not actually what it is doing, because the filter in a pipe is not filtering the smoke to try to make it less harmful. It is mostly there to control the moisture content. That is why I use a filter. When I first picked up a pipe, I didn't even know that there was a thing called a pipe filter. But many of pipes today are designed with a chamber that is being able to hold a pipe filter. So the thing is, when you smoke tobacco, when you smoke your pipe, you'll have some moisture content. No matter what you do, you will have some moisture. The thing is, when you burn something, it will release the moisture in whatever you're burning. And tobacco not being completely dry, it will release that moisture content, and that moisture will collect in the bottom of the bowl, making the bottom part of the tobacco that you put in moist and wet, and at the end maybe not even able to smoke the last part of your bowl. Some people have, you call, if you are a wet smoker or you're not a wet smoker, the moisture of the tobacco you cannot change, so that will vary how much moisture you will collect in your pipe. So wet tobacco will leave a lot of moisture. Aromatic pipe tobacco is more goopy in its existence, in its form, and it will leave more moisture in your pipe. So dry English blends will have way less moisture. How you smoke your pipe will also affect how much moisture you will have collecting in your bowl. If you're a clencher, like I am most of the time, having the pipe in your mouth, maybe going around, yesterday I was mowing the lawn with my pipe, and when you have it in your mouth all the time, you blow air back and forth, so you will also have a lot of condensation in the stem that will eventually collect, and maybe, if you're unlucky, start to run in your stem. If you have a very bent pipe, you'll have more of the condensation collecting in the bottom of the bowl instead of running to your mouth. Peterson makes this system pipe that has a chamber where the water will run down, the moisture. It will be collecting in this chamber, so it will not be able to run the other way up. I'm not a fan of that system. I don't even own one of these pipes, but I just heard that having a chamber collecting the moisture instead of trying to get rid of it, for me, seems like a bad idea. If you have too much moisture, run a pipe cleaner through your pipe to try to get it out instead of having it collect down the pipe. For me, it is a counterintuitive thing. Even though the moisture will, in the system pipe from Peterson, will actually not touch the tobacco and will not get in your mouth, but it will stay in your pipe, which I find it a little bit disgusting. I'll have to try it one day eventually. Anyways, so the pipe filter will filter the smoke a little bit. You'll have a drier smoke going into your mouth, so some people put a filter in to have the smoke has a drier mouth feel, which can be appealing. Some people say it will smoke cooler, and some people say it will affect the taste, that you can taste more, and this is very true. In aromatic pipe tobacco, a lot of what you taste is the oils get released when it's burning, and it gets actually transported through the smoke, through the condensation to your mouth. So when you filter some of this condensation going into your mouth, you'll have less taste. So you can have, I can detect a taste difference, not in a bad way, but it like takes the edges off. So I guess a lot of people are avoiding pipe filters because it will affect the taste to some degree. Sometimes I like that it takes the edges off the taste, since I don't really like that strong pipe tobacco in the first place. Anyways, this is a Savinelli 673, which is made to be holding a filter in the stem. That's why this opening is way wider if you're picking up a cheap pipe without a filter. You can get most pipes with or without the design to be able to put a filter in. But I find that most pipes on the more expensive side it's easier to find filter pipes than non-filter pipes. Maybe that's just me. The filters that you can buy are different. They are all made to try to capture this moisture. The thing is that the downside for me is that you're limiting the airflow. It makes sense blowing or drawing on your pipe without a filter that there's airflow going back and forth, and I like to have a very big open airflow. I don't really like to smoke with a lot of how to say it, that you have to force when you have to draw. So when you're putting something in here, you will limit the airflow, and on some pipes that has a bad airflow in the first place, you will actually get to the point where you feel that you have no draw at all. Plus, you're stuffing tobacco in the biggest hole in the pipe. So filter, narrow airflow, and a lot of tobacco, you can end up not being able to draw at all. You just stuff the pipe. So that is also something. You can get 6mm and 9mm filters, and I think 6mm filters are the most used. That's what I came across anyways. There's some different types of filters. I've tried 3 types, and I'll let you know what I think about it. First one, the Savinelli balsa system. This is a small piece of wood that is very, very light. So it is wood. It's triangle shaped, and it goes into your pipe like this. And by design, since it has this triangle shape, there can be air blowing back and forth on all 3 sides of the filter instead of blocking the stem completely. That is a good thing. The reason that they choose this material is that it's very absorbent. This can hold a lot of moisture, and you can use it 3 to 4 times if you let it dry. It will be very nasty looking when you use it, but let it dry completely, the moisture is evaporating, and what is left in it is some of the tar and all the stuff that you maybe don't want to ingest too much of. So eventually you should throw it out. You can use it once, twice. I've used it 3 or 4 times. Then it looks disgusting. This one works really great because you have good airflow. Another good one is this one from Falcon. Falcon is a different type of pipe, and they make these pipe filters from some sort of cotton material. So it is very flexible and not too wide. This one is actually too long, so I have to cut it a little bit, but it's the same idea. You stuff it in, and then you close your pipe. This one is not cut, so I cannot close the pipe completely. This one works perfectly. So these two, maybe this one has even better airflow because it has a smaller diameter. The third one, that is the most aggressive filter that I didn't have any much luck with, is these White Elephant activated charcoal filters. This is actually a real filter. It is not only collecting moisture, it is also collecting a lot of the stuff in the smoke, making it extremely dry. And this will actually also take some of the tar and the bad stuff out of the smoke to some degree. So this will maybe work more or less like a filter on a cigarette. No, not even, but more like it. The downside to this pipe, at least for me in my experience, It fits perfectly in the chamber, in the stem I should say. So now when you have this inside your pipe, the only air going through is through these 3 small holes here. And inside here is charcoal. It's like a small like a bullet or some sort, except there's no gunpowder in there. So you have a very limited airflow. Let me just try it for you guys. Now my pipe feels like that I just stuffed it full of tobacco even though it's empty. So imagining me stuffing this also, it feels like sipping on a ice milkshake that is not even starting to melt yet. Very unpleasant for me. You have to draw like crazy to get a good burn on your pipe. The last thing I will mention is a small tip. These filters, they are not expensive, but they cost money, obviously. You can make your own very, very cheap pipe filter out of something that you would just throw out. Pipe cleaners. We all have them, we all use them, they're great. When you're done with them, they look nasty like this. These are cut up already, and you just throw them away. There's no use for them. Yes, there is. This is a used, this one is a piece of used pipe cleaner. I just let it dry, it looks nasty, but anyways, I fold it in half, so it fits more or less the length of a filter. I can twist it, so it looks more or less like this. This can go into your pipe as a pipe filter. This is not a filter that will filter the smoke. It will just collect the moisture and some of the tar. So you put it in. So this will be like a 50-50 solution. Amazing airflow. And it will just take the gurgle and the moisture content. And when you're done smoking, this will be wet. You throw it out. You can design it to whatever thickness you want, and the thicker you make it, the more moisture it will be able to absorb. So that is a small tip for you guys. So just take your old pipe cleaners, cut them up, and you have an amazing pipe filter. Cheap, it's free. It doesn't affect the taste of the smoke. It only collects the moisture, and you have an amazing airflow. So that is my 2 cents about pipe filters. So if you're smoking with or without a filter, I'd be happy to know down in the comments if you like it, if you don't, and why not. So happy smoking everyone, and I hope you could take something out of this video for your own use. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.